This is Boomer Life Lessons and Stories, and I'm Ron Cross, and I hope this finds you well, happy, and looking forward to all the possibilities that are in your life. You know, we're here to tell stories and perhaps in many ways to help people enjoy their life or think about what's going on and grow from it. And so these stories from my past and stories from my family's past and others are intended to, I suppose, be therapeutic. So today we're going to talk about what? Well, we're going to talk about goals. And if you want to hear the rest of that story, stay tuned. But before we go there, please like, subscribe, and share. That's what makes YouTube grow and go, and that's what helps my channel. And as you do that, I'm able to do more for you. And it helps elevate my content up to the top where more and more people will perhaps see and listen to my channel. And in that way, we can spread a little more positivity to the rest of the world. And I do that, and I say that because I think, as again, I've said in many episodes before, there's too much negativity out there in the world. And I would like to combat that, to fight it, to counteract it, to push it away by all the positiveness that you experience and what I've experienced. And then by doing so, maybe we all can lead better, healthier lives and more productive lives. Okay? So enough of that. Let's talk about goals. I had a football coach tell me one time, Coach Moore. He said, Ron, it's not the goal that's important. It's the work you do in striving toward that goal. Now, I might have mentioned this in a previous episode, but it was in support of the main content of that other episode. I would like to focus on that quote now because it is so very powerful and insightful in terms of us being able to achieve being all we can be. Most of the time when I have failed or come up short, it's because not of the actions of others, or it wasn't because I didn't have all the tools and resources I need. It was my frame of mind. It was what I thought was going on and what I was capable of, and I would limit myself. But when I have people such as Coach Moore and others in my life, in my past life, and they share these nuggets of wisdom with me, I think about them quite often. And I think about what it means to me in my life's journey. Now, I'm not saying that my life is an example to follow. Certainly, I have made mistakes and I have regrets. We all do. I mean, you live life, you're gonna experience those. But the point is not to dwell on them. The point is not to allow them to limit what you're able to do going forward. The point is that we should learn and grow from those mistakes, right? And we always should strive to be more positive about the future by taking care of the business today. What did Elvis do? He gave gifts away, necklaces and charms that had TCB on them. TCB, taking care of business. So we should take care of business today so that we'll all have a brighter future tomorrow. So let's talk about that. I think about one of my professors in my undergraduate, and Lord help us, right? Calculus, the first experience of calculus in my freshman year. I was decent at math. I always made good grades in math, but I'd never experienced anything like calculus. And I had to take calculus 1, 2, and 3, and then I had to take differential equations, and then I had to take mathematical methods of physics, and of course, I thought my brain was going to turn to mush, right? But this one professor I had, he made a statement that scared the bejeebas out of me, right? He said, if you don't work all the problems in the book, you have no chance of passing this class. Now that was in 1975. And my hopes and dreams kind of hit the shores of the coastline, those rocky shores, and they just kind of burst up into all sorts of fragmented pieces. Holy mackerel. The book was that thick. If you can't see how big that is, that's at least 3.5 inches. A book that thick, and I had to work all the problems in that book, and there were 60, 70, 80 problems at the end of each chapter. I thought, God help me. There is no way I'm going to be able to do this. Now, what was I doing right there? I was self-limiting what I could do. I was telling myself, you're not capable. But I was, right? Now, I'm not going to promise you that I worked every problem in that book, but I applied myself because Coach Moore said, it's not the goal that's important. He said, it's all the work that you do in striving toward that goal. And, you know, we started out with about 40 students in that calculus class. We ended up with about 8 of us at the end of that class. We passed it. We got through it. But some of the others decided they would check out another professor for calculus. Dr. Shu was rigorous. I don't know where he is today, but he was very impactful on us, just the small things that he would tell us. There was one exam problem that he said in the exam, work the problem down to this point, only this point. And I had a good friend that I'd actually gone to high school with, and we were in the same calculus class. So during the exam, he was telling me afterwards, after we got the grades back, that he had worked the problem correctly down to the point at which Dr. Shu said to work it. But then he said, oh, I can simplify it even further. And I don't know if he was wanting to show the good doctor that he was more capable than just simplifying it down to this point. But he started simplifying it, he wrote it on the exam, and he got it wrong. He made a mistake and passed the point at which the question required him to answer. So when he got his exam back, he saw this big red X across the problem, 0 credit for the problem, and there was this little note right beside it. And the note said, why do you draw a snake with legs? You get the message, right? You don't draw a snake with legs. It has no legs. Why go and do more than you were asked for? This is all you had to do. But since you did, I'm going to hold you accountable for what you did. No credit. So the point I'm trying to relate to all this is, yes, you know, we do make mistakes occasionally when we strive forward and we push against what we're capable of doing. And when we're trying to achieve the goal, we have our little missteps. But along the way, we learn these lessons that we then apply to the next challenge, to the next goal. And, you know, it's kind of like fire hardening steel. You put it out, pull iron out, and it's pretty soft, right? It's malleable. But if you put it through a hardening process and you cool it very rapidly, the molecules or the atoms will line up in crystalline structures so that it's very strong. So when we stress against the activities that we're doing and those things that are in opposition to us as we strive to meet our goals, then we're being hardened. We're being proven. We're being proofed against that activity, against what it is that we're trying to achieve. We're learning what we're capable of, and as we learn, we have more confidence in ourselves. You know, it's kind of interesting. My wife and I, God bless her, we have this ongoing discussion, and throughout our married life, and we've been married going on, goodness gracious, 44 years now, and it's been a wonderful journey. But we've learned from each other. But sometimes between the two of us, we'll say, well, no, we can't do that And the other one will say, well, why? Why not? That's a good question to ask yourself. Well, why not? Why can't I do that? Why can't I achieve that? Now, we're talking about goals that are hard to achieve, are very difficult and not possible to achieve. I had one job early in my career where we had our goals and objectives for the normal job, and then we had stretch goals beyond those, and our bonuses would be tied to the stretch goals. And I worked on those stretch goals beyond my normal work hours throughout the year, right? And it literally took me all year to meet most of, but not all of the goals. I had a buddy that worked in a different department, different area. And when he sat down with his engineering management, basically they wrote down what I would call fluff goals, goals that are there for people to look at and say, oh my, but they were fairly easy to achieve. And here I had struggled all year to meet those goals, some of which I did. He didn't start until the last couple of months before the appraisals were due, and he met all his goals. The difference was I learned a lot. I was fire hardened by my activities, the trials and errors with some successes. I doubt that he learned very much at all, because all of them were like putting your shoes on and tying your shoelaces. You see the difference? So when Coach Moore said, you know, it's not the goal that's important. It's not checking the box, I got that done. It's the work that you do in striving to achieve the goal that's important. It's what makes you who you are. It's the struggle that makes you who you are. You know, I've told some of my friends and people that have worked for me, and even my students, I said, you know, when I think about my history, you know what I remember most about my career? I don't remember my successes too much. And there were a lot of successes. I remember my failures or my almost failures. Why? Because I learned the most from them. I learned the most from them. Those had the most impact on me. Why do we learn these lessons? So that we don't do it again, right? If you do something that hurts, well, don't do it again. Right? It's that simple. But I grew the most from my struggles, and it helped make me who I am today. Good or bad, it helped me make me who I am today. And I hope mostly good. I strive to leave the world in a better shape than it was when I first began the journey. Can you say that? Don't let the idea of achieving a goal consume you. Thrive in the journey, in the struggles. That's what will really benefit you. And if you're just beginning your career, or your mid-career, or in your personal life, it's the struggles that really make you who you are. I hope this has been a benefit to you. I hope I've said something that is of interest and will help you in your life's journey. You take care of yourself. You are always on my mind. And with that, I'm going to leave it with you. All the best.